To start this wonderful game, press the shuffle button first. After the shuffle is done, you can move game chips by pressing arrow keys. The goal of the game is self-evident: to restore the original ascending order of chips. There are 15 of them in total. Okay, to the code now. The body element contains the wrapper. It will wrap everything and occupy the whole viewport. Also, it serves to center header, main and footer elements. The header is above, the footer below, the in-between is main element. Global variables section. The empty spot object holds the row and column coordinates of the empty spot. The constant move time ms required to synchronize the HTML animation with the JavaScript. Look at line 52. That is the same transition or chip move duration. The chip size variables will be calculated depending on the viewport size. At the start, line 162, the function initChips is called. It will create and populate the main element with div elements representing game chips. Line 80. This is this function. All is very basic. Create a div, set its position, and put text inside it. The one thing that is maybe interesting here: I do not use a JavaScript array to manipulate the game. All information is stored within HTML elements, and script must get required data from HTML elements. That is why I use the custom data attribute data_cr. The letter C stands for column, and the letter R for row. After each letter is a digit with the respective column and row position for the current chip. That way, it will be easy to select the required chip element by using an attribute selector and template literal. Line 117 does this. Okay, back to the initChips function. After all attributes are set, the div is appended to the main element. This is repeated 15 times. The game body is ready. Now nothing happens, and the program waits for the keydown event to happen. Take a look at line 77. The parentheses after the function name throttledMove notify JavaScript that this function is called at once, not waiting for the event to happen. This throttledMove function returns a closure, and when the keydown event actually happens, the event will call not the throttledMove function, but the anonymous closure function returned during the initial call. Let's pause. If you are unfamiliar with closures, that it may be too much to figure out how it works at once. But if you plan to learn JavaScript, the closure concept is the must to know. Anyway, let's continue. What is the throttle function for in the first place? It limits the frequency with which JavaScript accepts input from the user. That is needed to synchronize move animation and key input, because the next move can be accepted only after the previous one is done. As with anything in coding, that logic can be organized in many different ways. This is just one possible solution. Next comes the shuffle function. It mixes all game's chips by randomly moving them around. Shuffling must be synchronized with animation too. That's why there are setInterval and setTimeout methods. setInterval will repeatedly call the random move function, which will generate a move direction and call the move function to perform move logic. The last direction variable is used to save the last direction evidently. That is used to avoid moving chips back and forth. Each next random move will not be opposite of the previous move, otherwise these two moves will bring nothing. Next comes a seemingly endless while loop, but it is not eternal. Break will end it if all requirements are met. After the correct move is constructed, the move function is called with two arguments. The property key value is the string representation of the arrow key, and the property call from shuffle lets the move function know if the call is from the shuffle function or from the keydown event. That is required to determine whether to check for a win condition or not. We must not check for a win while shuffling. Last is the move function. It accepts a keydown event object as an argument. It must, respective to the pressed arrow key, perform a move in the arrow direction. To do this, traditionally the switch statement is used. But there is alternative, object literal. It is more concise, modern, and overall versatile option. So, instead of the switch, object literal is implemented here. To keep my story short, I will put commentaries whenever possible. In essence, this function swaps empty spot and game chips positions. As always, file location is in the description. I scroll the whole file now. That's all for now. Have a nice one.